Let's talk crochet. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is my channel Slow Crochet. This is episode 055, and today I'm doing my weekly update on everything that I've been crocheting this week. So I have been working, trying to get all of my Christmas makes done, and a lot of them at this point were just small bits and pieces and little leftover and little last minute things. So I'm going to get into some of that, and I'm also going to go over some things that I've made to donate, because one of my favorite local places to donate has opened up their donations, and I'm looking forward to going and dropping those off soon. So quickly before I get into all of that, I do want to say hi to all of my subscribers, everyone who has just jumped on and started spending some time with me, and others of you who have been around for a while. I really do appreciate you. It's such a joy to get to connect with y'all as a YouTube creator. When I see that I have a new comment or someone has liked a video or something like that, it's really encouraging. I really do appreciate everyone who takes the time to leave a comment or like or even just watches this video. My heart in creating this channel really is to provide something that is meaningful or valuable to the world, and I hope that you feel that when you watch these little videos, however long you hang out for. Thank you for being here. I certainly appreciate you, and let's quickly get into this because there's a lot of little bits and pieces to say, and this time of year is super busy. So let me first talk about some finished objects that are gifts that are now complete. So one thing that I finished is my Bruno the polar bear. So last week he was mostly done, but I have finished all his accessories. He has his fishing rod, he has his little fish with the bead eyes, he has a fish in his basket, and then he does have the basket itself with a little gold bead for a clasp, and then some hemp twine for the strap and the buckle there. So this fishing rod itself is just a bamboo skewer that I clipped off. So Bruno has been submitted to Cassandra over at Craftably Ever After. She is putting together a slideshow of some bears that her subscribers have sent in, and this was my submission. So Bruno is going in a stocking to a very special fisherman, and I'm excited to be able to gift him. My children love Bruno. This is the danger of doing any kind of amigurumi, because inadvertently my children will see me making them and they will want them. And so then I, as an obliging mother, I want to do what I can. I already know that there's some more amigurumi makes that I'm going to have to do, because I know what they're going to see in other people's stockings, and Bruno is one of them. So this might not be the last bear you see around here. I really do prefer doing other types of crochet. Amigurumi isn't the first thing I go to, but I can see the joy, and I think Cassandra, you'd probably agree, when you see, or really anyone who does amigurumi, when you see the impact that an adorable make has on a child, it just makes your heart light up. So I'm sure there will be more of these in the future, but just wanted to give a little shout out to Bruno, because technically he wasn't done last week, but now he is. He is ready to show off his fishing prowess and win that tournament, I'm sure. The other things that are going in stockings are kind of small things. One of them, I had a family member who just said, I never can remember where my chapstick is, so I did a keychain for a chapstick holder for that family member. Hopefully this will be a useful thing, and it will look kind of subtle on a keychain so it won't get lost, and those poor lips will not be as dry as mine are, and they'll be kissably soft in the near future. So that's going in a stocking. Someone else is getting a spider. Now this spider is still kind of being blocked. I just have him on a couple of little cotton face scrubbies, and he's just kind of blocking on that. I didn't want to get it too extreme, but I did want the legs to splay out a little bit. This is a spider from, I believe, Zines and Roger, and I was inspired by Ella over at No Catchy Name Crochet, and she was introducing me to the concept of the Christmas spider. So someone is getting a Christmas spider. And I did find a place where you could find the legend of the Christmas spider. You could just do a quick Google image search for like legend of Christmas spider and find different variations on why a spider would have anything to do with Christmas. I am going to include that story with the gift, and I'll put the spider on a little keychain as well. I just did 2 little green embroidery eyes. I didn't want to do all 8 of them. This one is also halfway as a joke and halfway as a little joyful thing going into a Christmas stocking, because I did not realize at the beginning of December that I would have quite as many stockings to do as I do, and that's something that I get a lot of joy out of from year to year. The Christmas stockings that we do in my family were ones that my great-grandmother made, and she was the one that started me on crochet. Now, she passed when I was 8 years old, but I still have her stockings. But when I got married and began having children of my own, I was able to find some vintage fabric that matched what she had made her stockings out of originally. So I was able to duplicate her stockings so that they all kind of match. I've been doing stockings for my family since I was a teenager. I really enjoyed getting into it when I was younger, and it's something that brings me a lot of joy, trying to figure out what all the little presents are going to be to go into these stockings every year. So it really is quite a bit of joy. I wanted everyone to have something handmade, even if it's as little and innocuous or hopefully not too much of a practical joke as a spider. So things that I have made to donate. I've been working with a lot of I Love This Yarn acrylic because it's such easy care, and I had a little bit left of this Peacock Tails color, so I just made a simple moss stitch little cowl. And you'll see I have a tag on here too. I did print out just on some basic printer paper, just little tags that tell you what the fiber content is and that it's handmade and how to take care of these things, because when they go to be donated, I want to make sure that people are aware of how to take care of these. Like, there's most of what I donate, I want to make sure it's easy care anyway, but sometimes there are a few interesting fibers in there and just want people to be aware. So happy little cowl in 100% acrylic. Again, love these colors on Peacock Tails from Hobby Lobby. Maybe in the spring, maybe the next time there's a Hobby Lobby clearance, maybe some of this will go on clearance and I'll grab some then. The other things that I made to donate are some blanket yarn hats. I had grabbed some Bernat blanket yarn in the Ogo form at Ollie's. So I did not want to reinvent the wheel with these. I did find a tutorial here on YouTube and it is linked below. And these came together pretty quickly. Not in 20 minutes as purported, but that's because I go slow. So I just had 2 separate Ogos and each had maybe 3 different colors on there. I used the scraps that I had. I think initially the navy blue and the gray and the brown were in one Ogo, and then there were 3 colors of this kind of aqua teal that went together as well. So these will all be donated together in that 100% polyester and also real easy care. So hopefully folks will be glad to keep their heads warm. And there's a couple of different sizes in here too, not intentionally, but just the way my tension kind of changed as I was going. I'm not super familiar with blanket yarn, and to be honest, I don't intend on getting much more in the future. So it was a good experience. And I'm glad that I was able to find a way to make something donatable with that, and hopefully these will be well received. But I did actually make and complete something this week just for me, and it is a hat. So this is a hat that I created using 2 stitches. I used the linked treble crochet and I used the single crochet herringbone stitch. So for this hat, I also used 2 colorways of Queensland Brisbane, and one of them I had picked up when I was on a vacation with my husband. If you want to, I can link that video below as well. So I was trying to find a way to use this yarn in a beautiful way that would show off the variegation in the colors. And I mixed it with this kind of almond, palish, pinkish brown. And I felt like that was a great place to kind of put some variation in the stitches. So all of it is linked treble crochet, a couple of rounds of single crochet herringbone, and then it has that there at the end as well. The only thing that I am wondering about, and I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of grace for, in order to work up this hat, I did it in back and forth rounds. So at the end, I had to seam it up here. I'm not quite sure that I'm okay with how that looks, but then again, even when you crochet something in the round, it's almost impossible not to have at least a little bit of a jog. So you always know that there will be a seam to some degree somewhere. So I thought, you know what, for as beautiful as this is, I think it turned out. And I've actually even started another one of the same pattern. I'm considering maybe doing a tutorial on it. Don't quote me on that, but I really like the thickness of the stitches. I like how it came together. And yeah, it's not often that I'll just do my own thing for a beanie. And when I'm looking for something and I can't find it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just fill this void myself. Well, I like how this turned out so much. I thought maybe someone else would like to do something similar. So maybe I'll put that together as a tutorial and put it out there. No promises, no guarantees. But yeah, I do like how the hat turned out, and I think I'll make another just to see if it's something that I could possibly do a tutorial on. So watch this space and we'll see what happens. In terms of works in progresses, I only have 2 at the moment, not counting any little hats that I might have started. One of them is a small thing. I am using some leftover Nora. This is leftover from a hat that I made, and I started just doing some slip stitch and single crochet into a sort of headband, or what will be a headband. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's something that I don't have to think about very much, and I can work on it as I'm playing games with the children or watching a Christmas movie or something like that. It's going a little bit slowly, but that's okay. This is a roving style yarn, and I love how all the slip stitches are making it nice and stretchy, and it is just single crochets in the back loops and then 3 rows back and forth of back loops only slip stitches. So that's what's giving the ribbing effect. So that is a work in progress, slow going, but happy with it anyway. My other main work in progress right now is my shawl. You might have seen my short about dye lots. It is with this ballet pink color that I was perplexed. So I got 2 skeins of this at the last Hobby Lobby dye lot clearance, and I thought, oh great, it's a dye lot clearance. I'll be able to go and get another skein in case I need an extra. I have just now started the second skein, and I might not even need that extra because here we are. It is much thicker of a shawl than normally I would do, and I'm using a size H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter hook, so it's a bit smaller than what I typically would do. If I were to redo this, I might go up a hook size just because my tension tends to be really tight, so my hook size is always slightly bigger than what most people call for, but I am loving how it's turning out. Last week when I was working on it, I had got to about there. So this part here is what I've added in. So I am using the secondary color, which is plum pudding, and my thought for it is to continue doing more of these stripes of the contrast color in closer and wider bands. I want this to eventually kind of be able to end up doing this contrasting color as the edging on it, but I'm trying to keep it relatively solid. I'm doing a lot of rounds of double crochet and double crochet herringbone, and I'm adding in a little bit of texture here and there, but not too much. I do need to keep notes on what I'm doing, but I'm finding a good rhythm of it as well. So it's something that's really enjoyable. I used up a full skein in this so far, and this is my second skein. I will see how far we go. But there are several different Hobby Lobbies that I have access to. There's actually 3 within a general driving distance. And side note, if you ever wonder why I talk Hobby Lobby so much, it's because that's the nearest craft store to me. But I went to my nearest Hobby Lobby and I found ballet slipper in the, I found the same yarn in the same color, but the dye lot was very different and the color was very different. The color was actually closer to this one, this plum pudding, than the pink in my opinion. So then I took that skein over to a different Hobby Lobby and I was able to find something slightly closer, and I'll put up the picture right here to show you because I wanted to see if I could find just an extra skein, just a third one to have on hand, and I can put that in my stocking for Christmas, and if I need it, great. I just didn't want to feel constrained on what I was making because I didn't have enough yarn. And again, this was one of those times where I was constrained in my initial yarn purchase based on what was available in that clearance sale. So future reference, get at least 3 of these if I'm going to do a shawl out of this. It should be more than fine to do the 2 different skeins of this in with the contrasting color in there, but just to be safe, I do have a backup. So that is that. And that is what I've been crocheting this week. Now, I'm sure y'all are super busy, so I really do appreciate that y'all have taken the time to spend with me today. For those of you that are celebrating Christmas, I hope that you are able to finish strong with all of the things that you hope to get done. But mostly, I hope that you're able to have a rhythm in your holidays where you feel rested and refreshed and loved yourself. I know for me, I have a tendency to put everyone else first and try to make it wonderful for everyone else. And then I end up being the one that's exhausted or getting a little bit of a sinus gunk, as you might can hear in my voice. But I do hope, and I'm saying this to myself too, that we will all just take a breath and be able to remember what's really important in this season. It's loving each other, it's being together, and those memories and that peace and that joy, having the emotional availability to be there for your family and to be loving and generous towards them, not just financially generous, but generosity of heart. Like that's what really matters, is to love each other well. So part of that means we have to take a minute to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. So hope that you're doing that. And I do hope that you're having a wonderful week this week. If I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I really do appreciate it. And I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.